everybody, it's Merideth from Caridad, and today we're going to be doing Friday Conversations, and I'm so excited for our guest. This is pre-recorded, but I have Rod with us today, and I'm excited to share more about his story and even what cool project he's working on right now that we need your help with. So I'm going to get right into it. Thank you, Rod, for being here. And full disclosure, he's one of our tenants at Hebron, so thank you. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you originally from?
Originally from Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's great. And so, born and raised in LA. What part for people
Downtown.
watching? Downtown. All right. Downtown is probably different than how you grew up.
Yeah, I grew up in Inglewood and Cerritos and Anaheim, and that. I lived on West 107th Street in LA area, and that for quite a few years.
Okay. So born and raised, and then where after that?
Well, mostly back. Got in the military a year before I graduated high school.
What branch for people watching out there?
The first 14 years is Marine Corps.
Okay.
And then I went active duty guard, anti-terrorism group. Then I went to active duty Army and retired. So I joined in '76 and retired in 2011.
Wow. Wow. So, and I don't know if you caught, what did you say in there? The
anti-terrorism.
Anti-terrorism. So, if you're comfortable sharing, can you share anything a little bit about what you guys did?
Well, we did the response to the towers. We did response to the tunnel in Japan when they did the infection stuff. We did a lot of stuff with the Olympics. We did a lot of stuff basically for training too in Hawaii, California, Arizona, Nevada. Responded to calls from cola bases in Nevada that they had. Okay. Did a little bit of traveling.
Wow. Yeah, you were saying that you traveled all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, like how many days do you think in a year it would be typical? I should say, how many months were you at home in a typical year when you were doing that?
Well, for a while there, it was like 1 month every 2 years.
Wow. So. Wow. And how was that, like, because you're a dad, I can't even imagine. What was that like? Like, how did you guys keep in touch?
Well, for a while there we didn't, until I got a chance to go back to River and make phone calls. Then they had times that we actually started doing videos, and I'd get a storybook and read it, and I'd send a book and story. So it worked out.
That's so cool. And then how'd you end up in Las Vegas?
Well, the family moved out here while I was deployed, because they were looking at better area for the kids and stuff like that. And I ended up joining the guard here in Nevada, in Las Vegas, and I ended up getting deployed again. So.
Oh my goodness. You don't know him, but I see him every day. He's one of the hardest workers we have on property, and so it doesn't surprise me that you worked for so long. So thank you for your service and continued service to our community, because you do so much. So tell us a little bit about what you're into right now then.
Oh, right now I've started up a nonprofit that I finally got the IRS approved, where I'm taking disabled vets that can't get transportation and that because of their wheelchairs, electric carts and stuff, which the bus company won't take them on, and try to take a place like Red Rock, to Zion, to Lake Mead, which not much lake right now, but we had a nice picnic area. And take them to areas that they don't usually have access to unless they have family members that are willing to go out and buy a vehicle with a special lift and stuff like that.
Okay. And what's the name of the nonprofit that you started?
Veterans Nevada Conncetion. Veterans
Nevada Conncetion. So very, very brand new. What month did you get your
Well, I finally got the approval certificate in January, but it was approved on the 13th of December.
Yeah, so baby charity. Congratulations. Welcome to the charity quicksand. No, but it's awesome what you do. And then tell them about some of the donations and things that you pick up during the week.
During the week I've been for, like a year and a half now. I have been picking up food donations, clothing donations, sometimes taking the vets to special events, stuff like that.
And now by the way, this has all been with his own dime. That he's funded this, he's bought his vehicle, paid for his own gas, all on his own dime. So at the very end, I'm gonna leave your info so people can get in touch with you if they want to donate. But so how'd you end up here at this particular property?
Well, when I first got back, I was having a rough time.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter got me in here, and that's when it was supposed to be Veterans Village, and she thought it was going to be a good situation for me. And it worked out pretty good for a certain point, but I've been here ever since.
What year was that?
2017.
Okay.
But other than that, I've been basically trying to push to help out the other vets that don't have the access.
No, so wait, when did you come back from deployment? What year?
2011.
So 11, and then you came here at 17. I'm just trying to get my timeline.
I had a problem with at the house and the kids and stuff. I ended up getting taken out of the house and stayed on the street for a couple months. And then one of my daughters got me put into here. And
okay. So where did you stay in shelter when you were on the streets?
No, I just did a lot of walking.
Oh wow, wow. You know, it's interesting depending on the tour that people served. I find that people that either served for a long period of time or served, say, like Iraq and pre, don't always end up in shelter because they were believed in being self-sufficient.
Yep.
So were you connected at that time with the VA?
I was receiving paperwork for disability, yeah.
Okay.
And that was basically it, yeah.
But you weren't going to the clinic or the...
I was off and on.
Okay.
But I got to the point that the clinics ran out of counselors. When you went to a group, you didn't get credit for it, or they said they didn't have one because there's no counselors, or a bunch of stuff was going on.
Well, I wonder what year that was.
That was like 2012, 2013, 2014.
Okay, because we got a new director here, call it 2014, and then things changed. So that's why I'm like, oh man, if I would have met you, we would have helped you. But yeah, I was over the Veterans Initiative, so that's why I was trying to figure out what time frame that was. And the VA, I will say, has done a little bit better, much better, about stepping it up and helping people that are really struggling and also people that are on the streets. So you just walked all over. Did you have a spot that you tried to camp at that was safe?
Nope.
Just wherever?
Yeah, I didn't care.
Yeah. And then, so how did your family find you again then? If you were on the move?
Oh, my one daughter. She found me. Basically, I recharged my phone finally, and she finally got hold to that.
Oh wow, wow! So do your kids still live here in town?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Now, how often do you see them?
Well, now I see them at least 2 or 3 times a month.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a lot better.
Wow, as opposed to your once every couple years, 1 month a year.
Well, there was once every 3 years for a little bit.
Wow.
I was deployed 11 years out there growing up, so it made it pretty rough.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're closer to them now then?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine. But wow, how strong they are, you know? Wow.
They've done a lot for themselves, so I'm proud of them.
And how, if you don't mind me sharing, how old are they?
32, 23, and the other one just barely turned 21. And then I have a stepson that's 25, and I've got another stepson that's 30.
Oh wow! Your daughter picked here, and then why did you stay?
Well, I like the town, I like the people and stuff like that. There's a lot of good people here, and I used to love California, but it got so bad there that it's not worth living in a place that taxes so much and charges so much, and then the attitude of life over there is not like it used to be. And then here it's a lot slower as long as you went downtown the casinos. If you're out in the areas, the people are friendlier, and they actually care about each other.
Yeah. I always say it feels like for those of you in the Midwest, it feels more like a small Midwest town once you really get in and get to know the people. Yep. It's nice. And even I like our community. I know this may be not everybody agree with me, but I actually like all the tenants too, and I love the community that we have here. So do you have a favorite story about the community here that you'd share?
Oh, the biggest one is when we do get donations in, or I'm able to bring stuff up, watching the people come, and especially the ones that are living on a really small fixed income, how appreciative they are for the stuff we bring in. And that's the biggest thing.
It's like a little beehive when the donations come in. People come out and they want to help and do all chip in. It's nice.
You know, especially when we're seeing my truck come in and they do like food in the
Yeah.
bag. And then after they get over the idea of how much stuff sometimes I had in there,
Yeah.
and then they like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, but it's fun getting around the people that actually need this stuff,
Yeah.
and they appreciate it. And that's not easy to find. But in these areas, the people really appreciate the stuff we bring in.
Now I'm curious how you made your connections, because you guys, he brings in food from all over and all sorts of stuff. So is this just people that you met out in the community, or how do you make those connections?
It's people I met out in the community. It's a couple of churches I ended up getting introduced to, and it's kind of funny because every time I would turn around, there'd be somebody else asking me, well, where do you get this, or how can we donate for this, or how can we do that, and it just leads on and on. And that's why I said it's mostly surprising. You got a lot of people that want to donate and they want to help out, and they just been burned so many times by some of these other groups or people saying they're going to do something for somebody and they never do.
And generally, if we don't need it, like, we get rid of it. But generally, if you do donate to us, it goes straight out, and we put it out on a table or in our community room, and people sort through it, and they take what they want. You had something happen recently to your vehicle, and it's sitting in the back of our lot. Do you want to share with everybody what happened?
Yeah, well, I was having maintenance done on it, and then for some reason, the person doing the maintenance, I guess they didn't take care of the oil part of it and the oil pump, and that went out and it blew in the motor.
As he was driving, doing an errand for the property, doing like a good deed, it blew. So now what does it need?
Basically, I just have to get another motor for it.
Okay, and how much is that going to cost?
Well, the cheapest I've heard on that I was told was like $2,800 for the motor, and then probably another $2,000 to put it in.
And so, what is that all in?
Excuse me?
How much total?
Probably around between $4,000 and $5,000.
Okay. And what kind of vehicle is it? If anybody's out there, hold on, I gotta start over because I had the hiccup. I'm really talking. Okay. And what kind of vehicle is it? Because there might be somebody out there that would be familiar, might have work on those types of engines. So if you want to tell them what type of vehicle it is.
Yeah, it's an E450 shuttle. It's the same ones they used for the RTC shuttle. It's a handicapped shuttle bus, and that it's got a 5.6 or 5.4 motor in it.
Okay.
You know.
So we're putting that out there. If you can help, donate, and I will again put this at the end to Rod directly to help him. I'd love to get him back up and running and back in business. So if the community could help, please help. Let's get Rod's wheels back up and running. When did it break down?
2 months ago now.
It's been 2 months. 2 months. 2 months. You can't do fun stuff and help other veterans. So we need to get him back up and running. And then what is your goal and your vision with the nonprofit? Like, what do you say? Say 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. What do you see for your nonprofit?
Well, for 1 to 2 years is hopefully get more vehicles. Hopefully expand it to a regular sized bus to go back and forth to other areas, and then from there I want to try to build it out. I was looking at a property to open up a veterans camp, and that.
Where at? I remember you told me, but tell them.
Oh, there's an area in Tonopah that's got 120 acres for sale. That would be perfect for that. It's like 108,000 that I'm starting to put together slowly. And it's an old mine area, but it's set up to where you actually put container homes on, small ones are self-sufficient, and they're supposed to be like solar powered and all stuff, so they can actually have an area to go to, and that for a couple days or a week or so at a time, and get away from the rat race and stuff, get away from the problems, and be able to just relax and connect with other vets.
Why do you think it's so hard? And I'm just curious to hear your insight. I don't have any ideas. Well, why do you think it's so hard, especially for people who have served and to come back and live in civilian life?
Well, the hardest thing is, one, connecting with people that you deal with every day. A lot of them have no self-pride. They have no pride in their work. A lot of them now, if you look, they don't even want to work. And that they don't want to connect with the neighbor. Half the time you go to a neighborhood, the next door neighbor has no idea who lives next to them, and that unless they've had a problem with each other. like me, when neighborhoods I was living in, I'd walk the neighborhood and meet everybody, me and my dog and stuff. And that, a lot of people are not used to not having a structure as far as what they're going to set up and going to do. They're going to say they're going to do something, they follow through with it. So many people now, and that they say they're going to do something, and a week later you ask them, well, what happened? Oh, I forgot, or I decided to do something else. They don't follow through what they said they're going to do. And that we're so used to be on an honor system that you say you're going to do something and you do it. Mm-hmm. And that you actually work for yourself, but you work with others and work as a team. And very few people like to work as a team anymore.
It's interesting that you say that about community, because I feel like the community here is really good about, they know each other, they look after each other. Obviously, you're always going to have, we have 125 units, you're always going to have a few bad eggs in the bunch, yeah. But overall, it's really a community like that. Is that something that you? Yeah,
a lot of people here get in and help and stuff like that. Like I said, we do have maybe one or two that show up as a bad egg, but most of the time we work together, and that people take care of each other. They watch out something happens to your apartment or your place. They what's going on, or have somebody check it, stuff like that. And it's like a mid-sized family. It's not a direct family, but they do worry about each other. They do care.
So say we wave a magic wand, you've got your fleet of vehicles, you've got your campsite. Is it more, do you think, a retreat center for vets?
It's going to be, it's basically going to be like a retreat, but camp area, because it's going to be individual areas set up for the male vets, female vets, and then a community area between. I've got a couple of vets that they were talking about putting a stage up for ones who play instruments and stuff. They could actually play out there without having to worry about city ordinances or complaining neighbors and stuff like that. That'd be just their area to play what they want to do and be what they want to be.
Oh, I love it. And that is something that I've seen people have a hard time going back to civilian life. Yeah. So I mean, to have that option to get away and be with other people in community that understand you, and that's important.
Yeah, there's not many areas that do that, but that's what I'm looking at trying to do.
Yeah.
So, but that's a little bit down the lane.
Yeah. And then it's interesting too that you say that, and I want to be careful how I say this, but I call veterans the puppies of homeless services, like veterans and youth homelessness. People want to give to that. People can get behind that. And so sometimes you have like charities like yours, you just started, you're a baby nonprofit. People just need to learn about you, but then there's other ones, and I don't want to say their names because they're bigger charities that are national, that do and maybe have like a ton of overhead and don't have as much like of the outreach to the actual people. So I love where your head's at, and it's commendable what you're doing, so thank you. So you're gonna have your ranch and you're gonna have your fleet. Yep. And then what?
Well, basically just keep building from there. That way I'll have something to leave behind, and that they'll be able to develop on stuff. My daughters are really behind me on it, and that they're helping me push stuff, and they'll make sure it keeps going.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's wonderful. What are you gonna name the ranch?
Well, it's gonna be Veterans Camp, and that would be the same thing within the nonprofit. It's Veterans Nevada Conncetion, because it's all within Nevada. It's all about Nevada's history, culture center, stuff like that they'd be able to go to. And plus, the one I'm trying to get located at is within an area. There's a lot of history, a lot of growth of areas and stuff that have gone here since the 1600s, 1700s, that they can learn from and be able to have access to that they don't now.
And we have a base here, so we have lots of people that would benefit from that. And we do have, like, much like yourself, people that come that weren't even necessarily stationed here but end up in Las Vegas. We have a ton of veterans in this community in the valley.
Well, you've got a lot of them leaving California and stuff like that, and areas in New York and stuff, because life is getting too expensive for them. Plus, it's too much of like a rush into get everything done now. And it's time, after the retiring and stuff, it's time to relax a little bit and take things step at a time, so you can do things that you want to do, but do it correctly and fulfillment with it.
Now you have a dog. Did you try? What is your dog's name?
Nico.
And what kind of dog is your dog?
He's a blue heeler lab mix.
And Nico is very well trained, everybody. Nico is amazing. So does Nico do the runs with you, or does Nico stay home?
No, he goes with me.
Oh, that's so fun. How do people respond to Nico on the...
Most everybody loves him because he's really laid back. He keeps takes care of me as far as like with my diabetes and stuff like that. But he gets along with everybody, and they get along with him with no problems. And like I said, it's great with him. It's like even here in this group here, nobody has a problem with Nico.
Yeah, no. How old is Nico again?
14.
Wow, I would not have guessed that. No wonder he's got gray whiskers.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, he's a healthy 14.
Yeah, I try to
He
keep
gets
him
around.
Yep.
Wow, that's impressive. Okay, well, I didn't know Nico was that old, but that's amazing. That's so cool. Well, do you have anything else that you want to share with everybody?
Well, it's basically it. If we can get the stuff going and then start getting more vets interested in doing the stuff that I'm doing, that'd be even better.
So, Nevada Veterans Connection. Veterans are putting a call out to you if you want to help be a part of this bigger movement that Rod is starting. We would love that. Also, if you could help with his car repair, either donation or by just, if you've got an engine and you want to help us, Rod will take that too. But what's the best way? Probably email. Let's give out your email if people want to get in touch with you.
Yeah, at rodgarrison90@gmail.com.
rodgarrison90, and I'll put that down below, at gmail.com. So rodgarrison90@gmail.com. You can get Rod directly. If you want to help, if you want to be a partner or a volunteer at Nevada Veterans Connection, he could use you. If you want to help with the ranch that he's trying to build for the veterans also, could totally use your help. Would love to get some more vets in on that. And I think, is that all we got? That's it. Well, thank you for coming and sitting down with me. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Have a great Friday and have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.